If you smell what the Rock is cooking. What's up, guys? FishBricks85 here. Today we're going to be taking a look at this awesome Ralph figure from the movie Rampage. This is made by Leonard. This is actually a pretty cool figure. This is based off the movie Rampage starring The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and also based off the video game that came out in the early 90s, one of my favorite video games, and honestly not too bad of a movie. I did not pick this up when it was in stores, unfortunately. I kind of slept on this. I didn't think they looked all that great, and I also didn't know they were made by Leonard at the time. So I kind of just passed on these, and then later kind of regretted that. I've actually looked these up on eBay. They're really expensive and kind of hard to get nowadays. So I wish I would have grabbed George and Lizzie when they had them. I really want a Lizzie figure. Hopefully one day I'll get lucky and find that. I didn't even think I was going to end up with this Ralph, except last weekend I went out to the swap meet, and I actually managed to find this really hard to get an expensive figure for only $8. I only got him as he is. I didn't get any of the other stuff that comes with the set. Not that I really feel like I missed out on much, honestly. I mean, and this is probably my second favorite figure. I think Lizzie's definitely my top, Ralph being a second, and George probably being my least. I understand kind of why they made George albino in the movie, but you know, George was always kind of supposed to be brown, but they didn't want him getting confused with King Kong, so I kind of understand it, but I didn't really like the whole, like, white gorilla thing. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about Ralph here. He's got these awesome spiky quills coming out of his back here, and if you look closely under his arm here, you can see this flap of skin. I've seen reviews on this on YouTube where people think that this is like some muscle showing, or maybe some skin showing, something like that. But if you've seen the movie, you actually know these are actually skin flaps that kind of like a flying squirrel when his arms spread out, which you can't do because they didn't make him that way, but his arms can actually, well, his legs spread out in the movie, and he actually kind of flies or soars from building to building. He's got this really cool tail back here, also covered in quills, which he can actually use as a projectile and launch, which is kind of cool. This actually looks nothing like Ralph from the video game. They kind of did more of a realistic thing, but I still think he's pretty cool. His only action feature is if you grab his neck and you kind of pull up and down, his mouth opens and closes. So I guess that's kind of all right. Kind of cool. I like the fact that the back legs actually have no bend in them whatsoever. They're just kind of stationary in this position. You can actually see some detailing in the scales on his leg here and some muscle curvatures. Something that I didn't like that they did on the front arms is they actually made his paws posable. They did give him some articulation. Usually articulation is a good thing, but I have to say in this case it's really not. I think they should have did with the front legs what they did with the back legs. They made the joints so loose, and he's kind of lightweight, that he really kind of has a problem standing. He's also like ultra skinny. He kind of has I want to say like a wolf slash like hyena thing going on. He's got these elongated ears. I mean, for what he is, he looks really cool. I do like him, and he seems to be standing pretty all right now. The paws aren't exactly flat. Like there we go. He's got these cool little sickle spikes coming out of the back of his feet. You can see he does pretty all right. And I guess it's cool that they give him the articulation. I just feel had they made the front legs like they made the back legs, he might be a little bit easier to stand and pose. You know, I feel like right here he's a little too straight-legged. I don't know. I just don't care for the articulation of the front legs all that much because you can't really... I mean, look at that. Right now he's wanting to fall over on me. So it makes it really hard. The joints are really loose. And if you don't just kind of stand him up just right, he does have a tendency to want to fall over. But overall, pretty cool looking figure. I'm going to give Ralph, if I had to rate him, I'd probably give him about a 7 out of 10. I'd probably give Lizzie about a 9 or a 10. I'd probably give Lizzie about a 9 because really she doesn't even look like Lizzie from the video game. None of these George is really the only one that really looked like the video game. And I guess that's because they didn't really do much to alter the gorilla, except for make him really big and massive. Lizzie was really cool, except that she just kind of looked like an alligator, like an alligator on steroids, kind of. I didn't mind the depiction of her, just very, very different from the video game. All these characters were. As you know, Ralph could actually walk around on 2 legs, and he was like the color blue. But I mean, it's a video game, so of course they're going to make it more realistic for the movie. The only thing I did find on this figure is it looks like right here, if you look closely, I think he actually has a broken quill right there. But other than that, he's in really good shape. You know, a figure that I'm glad I finally got to pick up. Maybe if I keep going to the swap meets, maybe I'll end up finding Lizzie and George at some point, and if I do, I'll probably pick them up just to complete the set. And I'd like to get them all in this size. They do have a really big George, but I don't really want that. I like the size of these figures. I think they're really good and can be scaled. Let's see if I can get him to stand for a minute. I'll grab my Jumanji rock over here and scale him up, and I think that's pretty good size, actually. Pretty sure these figures were much bigger in the movie. I think these creatures were way bigger than this, but I still think it's a pretty good scale. I think it looks pretty good side by side. I don't have the Leonard rock figure, the Leonard rock figure, I should say. Leonard, tomato. Will you stand, Rock? Okay. So this is actually my rock from Jumanji. It is made by Leonard. It's pretty much the same thing as the Rampage rock, except that they made him look more like the movie Rock from Rampage, and he actually has a long sleeve shirt. This is my Jumanji rock that I actually was lucky and picked up just to kind of have a little 4-inch rock figure. So, you know, but yeah, this has been my look at Ralph. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, you know, I just want to say thanks for watching. If you guys did like it, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up and share it, you know, like it, share it, all that good stuff. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And as always, guys, we'll see you in the next one. My last comments on this I want to make, sitting here looking at it, I just want to say this is a great face sculpt. I really like the detailing in this face. This figure is pretty good. Not too bad at all. So, anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. As always, we'll see you in the next one.